Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at Winner Next One, which is usually just like a local or a regional or a national or whatever you call it in Japan, but this time it is a major, and this happened out of nowhere. This happened literally overnight. Just a ton of Japanese talent signed up for it, and just to mention it right away, we have another pretty big Japanese tournament as well, Sumebato SP32, with Asimo, Dio, Hikaru, Kome, Miya, Riziasu, Shiryuki, and Sumo Suto, so none of those players will be signing up. And the bracket is unfortunately not out yet because typically these are, again, like a local tournament, but this one just has like such this is like a summit, but it's like open invitational, so the brackets are not out because people can still enter. We still might get a couple more demons here, but I want to make this video because I won't be able to make it tomorrow night, and then the tournament will be done. So here's some notable entrants. We have Abadango, Aka, Akasa, Chicken, Ayam, Fuwa, Goriku, Harasun, Jagaimo, Ken, Kept, Kirihara, Lai, Manzuko, I believe that's how you say that, Masa, Mikamatsu, Munikin, Nata, Niitono, Noi. Actually, I think Niitono is spectating this event. I don't know if he's actually registered, but if he is, then it's going to be hype. Pesseriman, Proto, Repo, Shogun, Shutone, Suniko, T, Tekai, Takara, Terakatori, T, TKM, Umeki, Yama, Yuzu, and Zachary. Now, here is my bracket, what I think will happen. I have T in first place, Shutone second, Proto in third, Zachary in fourth, Ken and Abadango in fifth, Passeriman T in seventh, Atorie, Masa, Umeki, Repo in ninth, and then Shogun, Shoko, Yama, and AK, or Aka rather, in 13th, because a couple people that are missed from the EazyFreezie list. Also, shout out to EazyFreezie because he's the only reason I know this tournament's happening. Go give him a follow, as always. So I'm just going to scroll through these as we go through it. But I have T as the first seed just because he has been absolutely farming everywhere else in the world. But interestingly, we haven't seen T at an NA tournament or a Japan tournament in a really long time. And typically he doesn't win the Japanese tournaments. So this is like not a pick that it's like pretty typical, honestly, because I think most people we would have Proto first seed just because, like, you know, he's Proto Bonham, but Proto has again been struggling in Japan. T's been doing really good everywhere else. Even though we haven't seen T in Japan for a little bit, I do believe he's the first seed. And then Shutone, same thing. Proto has been struggling in Japan, and Shutone does very well in Japan. He just does like really well everywhere. It feels like he's always in that like top 5 spot. Maybe not always in that number 1 spot, like some players like T and Proto are, and their highest of highs, Zachary as well. Though he does get the win sometimes, it's just more often than not he's usually in the lower side of grand finals. I don't know who has the most seconds out of any Japanese player, but in my gut, I feel like it's Shutone because he is just like he is in every grand finals. This man is just absolutely unreal. So I expect him there in second. I do have T still taking it, but I do see him in second. And then Proto, again, he's been struggling in Japan. Not that he can't take this tournament. Third might be a little low for him, but I just have him there. And then Zach Ray, same thing. It's like he is not even in Japan. He just struggled the last 2 tournaments, and he struggled bad. Like he had some of his worst performances just ever. And one of them was at Ludwig's, which was like incredibly stacked, so you can't feel like too bad. He still got some decent wins on the way there, but his Meisumo run was just like very not good, and I hope he gets the redemption for that one because, again, we know he has it because of his wanted run. He just has to prove it to himself. And then here's the final of these people. These are everyone that has entered so far. Maybe some more people will come, maybe some won't. I don't know. And then we have Ken Abadango in 5th. Abadango, that quad main is so scary. I'd also say his Meta Knight is so interesting right now because I don't know how good Meta Knight is. I physically cannot rank Meta Knight as a character because Meta Knight's a character that I look at Meta Knight, it's like, okay, that's a bad character. And then you say, please name what Meta Knight is bad at. And then I shrug. I don't know because he has combos, he has kill confirms, he has great advantage, he has great disadvantage. Like his getting off the ledge is insane, his edge guarding's unreal. Like Meta Knight has so much that I don't know why this character isn't top tier. But then again, it's like maybe just because he's linear. Please, this isn't even a bit. I need a reason to fixate me because I'm on the Meta Knight is insane train right now and I don't like it. Then we have Ken as well, who is just like a mainstay in these Japanese tournaments. He's absolutely incredible. He could win the whole thing, but someone has to be 5th seed. That's the only reason he is that low. I just think these players, even though Zachary and Proto have been more inconsistent than him lately, they just have higher highs than him. Typically, even though Ken, all these players in this top 5 have won majors before. I think Abadango won one like right at the start of all, so top 6 have all won majors. Though Ken, Zachary, Proto, Shutone, T are more recently. Passeriman and T as well. Passeriman is kind of my like just consistent pick. He doesn't go to as much stuff, but he's still incredible. T is my wild card because T hasn't been to as much stuff, and the stuff he has been to, he's been fairly inconsistent. Like not like crazy inconsistent where he doesn't like get insane placements. Like he did pretty well at, I believe it was Kowloon. He got a very good placement. I forget if it was 9th or 7th place. Here, I'm going to see. If my internet was screwing me, I had to re-record this because the internet was doing me dirty. But it's working now. At Kowloon, he was not there. That was another player I was thinking of. But he got 17th at Wave, 49th at Kagurabi 8. He got 4th at this Wave, which is actually very good. This wave wasn't as stacked as wave 2, but it's still very impressive. And then Kagurabi 7, he got 65th, and those are the only 4 majors he's been to since the quarantine period has ended. So, oh, and this one as well. I don't know if this was a Subugeki. I don't believe so, but it might have been. It had 192 though, so fairly stacked. Lost to Ken as well. But the point is, T is a player that we know has it. Like, that Congo Saga run is one of the reasons I think T is still broken, or Link is still broken to these days. Just, like, watching him do that to people was, like, unreal. And I think he has a ton of potential as a player. He's absolutely amazing. Probably still the best Link in the world, even though we've had some pretty good runs from Link players in, like, the recent Link. We've had some good ones in EU. We have some decent ones in other places in the world, but mainly EU, I will say. But I think T has a ton of potential. I think he's absolutely amazing. He's probably a little high at the 7th place seed, but hey, I believe. And then Torie, Masa, Umeki, Repo. My biggest question marks are probably a Torie and Masa. A Torie just because, like, he's probably should be higher because he's just, like, unreal, but we just haven't seen him as much stuff. And he usually has been getting this placement recently, though I think he did top 8 a Meisuma. I think he got 7th at the Meisuma that Akala won, which is, you know, vague, but it's probably true because Akala wins most of those. And then Masa is also someone that's very hard for me to pick because Masa is incredible. He's just such a good player. But again, we don't see him a ton. I hope he does well this tournament because he's so sick. I mean, I just love watching Falco. I know a lot of people hate playing against Falco, cutscene character, yada yada. I think Falco's just very, very funny and you could be super cool with him. And I hope he does well. And then Umeki and Repo are just very consistent players. They could, honestly, any one of these people that I mentioned in this video could make top 8. And that's just kind of how Japan is. It feels like anyone can make top 8 in Japan because everyone there is crazy. Or I guess everyone, if everyone's super, then no one is. Shogun, Shoko, Yama, and Aka in 13th place. Shogun is someone that did really, really well in the States when we saw him at Double Down, but hasn't super replicated that in Japan, but I think he will this tournament. You have to remember, it is only 97 people, so a lot of these people might be falling, like, very early on. Like, if you see Shogun get, like, 65th here, that means he got, like, last, I think, but it's not even that much of a feels bet. I don't know why I use Shogun just as a specific example. I don't think he's going to go O2. I just said a name. But, like, this tournament is incredibly stacked. And, like, saying that they're 13th is, like, I have very high hopes for all these players. They're just very good, all of them. And Shogun, in contention for best snake in the world right now. Probably of the main 4... 5 maybe with Kronos, honestly. If Kronos traveled more, he has a lot of potential. But of the main 4, he'd say is probably somewhere in the 4th right now, just because like the other ones have more consistent higher highs. But I think Shogun can definitely prove himself this tournament. He is insane. And he does have a pretty decent secondary Fox, or at least like he looks like he did in that set at Double Down versus MVD. So maybe that comes into play as well. Choco, I don't think we've seen Choco at a tournament in many moons. Maybe I just been missing him, but it feels like, because he wasn't bolded, like, he hasn't top 8'd this season, because what this means, by the way, because, of course, we're using this list, I mean, he's not even on this list, so maybe he has been, maybe he just entered after it was made. Choco is here, I don't know why he was so low, let's see. He hasn't, okay, well, he's been getting farmed. 33rd at Kagurabi, though. 13th at Wave is actually very, very good. So I do think he'll probably have a decent run. It hasn't been like the highs that we saw him in the pre-quarantine season, but I definitely think he can achieve it. Yama is a very, very good player. We just don't see him a ton. He's usually in that 13th to like 17th, 25th spot, though, it feels like. And then Aka is probably the person that I'm the most excited for in the tournament, just because I love watching good hero, and he is the best hero by, like, I want to say, like, a significant margin, because I don't want to give disrespect to Nair and Leon as well, because Leon's been using hero, and so has Nair. Nair's been on hero for a while, though, and then probably someone else. Sparkle is also very good, but Aka is just, like, unreal. He is so good. He uses the spells so well. He uses the buffs, like, the best out of any hero in the world. That is why he is the best hero in the world. It's just, like, he's on another level. He's absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to watch him play. I hope he does well, and I hope he overperforms his seed that I'm giving him, because he's so good. Now, my people to watch this tournament are the Icy brothers that are not related, and Fuwa and Harrison. The only reason I have them is not because they have like a really good bracket matchups against like a lot of these people here. Is because, one, they're insane because like they're doing good with Icies, but two, every single tournament nowadays, it feels like an Ice Climbers player just has an incredible run. Like, they just beat a bunch of amazing players, and it's not just in NA, not just in Japan, it's in both. We've seen Big D do it, we saw Fatari do it. I think either Fuwa or Harrison's going to do it. If I had to pick one, I would probably pick Harrison strictly because his name is longer, which gives me more confidence in him. But I think one of these people is probably going to make the run, just knowing how the Ices meta is going right now. I don't know why this is happening, but hey, I'm all here for it because that character is very funny to watch. But my actual main three are Takari, or Terrakatori rather, Kept, and I am. Kept, a lot of you probably know from the recent drama in quotations that has happened with the Smash World Tour, because he just barely missed it, and there was like a bunch of like deregulation stuff, or like DQ stuff, and like apparently one tournament that was supposed to count didn't, some blah blah blah. I don't know. I haven't been reading it. All I know is that he is not in, and I would be pissed because he has been traveling a ton. He's gone to so many tournaments. He just got 9th at a Kowloon as well, which is very impressive. And I think Kept traveling a lot has been to such a benefit to him because he has basically been to every major region and has experience in, again, every major region and some sub-regions as well. Like, you have that rushdown style of NA. You have that, like, super patient style of Japan. You have that, like, a French style of Europe. And you have, of course, like, spacing regions, like, all that kind of stuff. I feel like he's played against almost every single archetype, every playstyle around the world, and I think it's going to be extremely to his aid. I think he's going to be an incredible player soon. I'm ready, he already is, but I think we're going to start seeing more results from him just because he is so well-traveled, and he has seen, like, so many different matchups, so many ways to play the game. I think it's, like, very helpful to get that lens, and he's having a huge advantage with that travel. I am, as well, is probably the most swingy player we're going to mention, even though Terrakatori is a Mac player. We have, I'm getting 7th at Kowloon, that was who I was thinking of, but then 65th at Meisuma, and then a 65th at Wave, but then a 17th at Meisuma, and then a 9th at Kagurabi 8. It's like, he's just very swingy, like, his results are kind of inconsistent. That is kind of a Sheik thing, though, because Sheik is like, you have to be playing very perfect, like, you just have to be playing, like, out of your gourd to be beating people, and if you're not, then you're probably not going to be doing as well. I think that's why we see Zachary struggle a lot sometimes as well, because, like, he's just such a good Fundies character with his other two, and if you're not playing perfect with the Sheik, it doesn't matter, even if you are, like, amazing, like someone like, you know, Void, I'm Sylph, Zach Ray, obviously, Kameme, they're all, like, amazing Sheik players. Other people I'm forgetting, of course. But if you're not playing, like, extremely well, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not landing a combo for, like, 60% every single time and hitting your kill confirms, you're going to be struggling extremely hard. And I think that's something that IM struggles to. I hope he doesn't do this tournament, though, because he is absolutely incredible. Like, you can see here, like, even though he is losing records against a lot of these people, none of them are O's. Like, he's up on Shogun, he's up on Yama, or wait, that's not Yama. Oh, right, oh, that's a different person. He's down on Numeki, though, down on Shutone, down on Karaken, but he's getting wins. He is showing that he can do it, and I think this tournament that he can do it at, I have a lot of faith in him. I think he can make the run. And the final person is Terrakatori, aka Mr. Mac. That's not actually what he's called, but he's really good with Little Mac, which is like, you gotta give him props. Here's the tournament here that he won with Little Mac. I don't know the biggest name here. He beat Ken. What? I didn't know he did that. Oh, wait, no, Takara beat 10. Or Ken. Oh, I almost freaked out. But he beat Takara, which is crazy. Wait, did he? How did this work? I don't understand how this tournament worked. This is losers finals, maybe? No, this is... Did he just get a bye to Grands? Okay, so I don't know. I think I'm reading this... No, he came from losers. Okay, I'm stupid. So he did beat Ken! It took me so long to figure out. But oh my god, he beat Ken with Little Mac. That's like Sonic Little Mac. Or Sephiroth Little Mac. Like, that's crazy. He's such an amazing player. And then he also has some pretty decent performances. Again, you have to consider he's playing Mech. He's a 25th at Suma and Bato, 25th at Wave, like 65th at both Meisumas, like Meisuma 9 and 10. Like, he is just absolutely unreal. Probably best Little Mac in the world. It's either him or Peanut for sure. Or honestly, oh no, I forgot the third really good Little Mac player. It's not going to come back to me. I'm sorry. Fuck. I'll pin. Okay, someone leave in the description. You all know who I think it's Alternus, actually. I think that's his name. But I'll pin the comment in the description saying his name because he is absolutely amazing. He needs the shout out. But yeah, Terrakatori is incredible. I think he could have run this tournament. He's also someone I'm very excited for. Him and Akka are probably my top two. And I think this tournament is going to be absolutely just super stacked. And I'm sorry that the full bracket wasn't out, but I wanted to make this video now because by the time like a video comes out like tomorrow for this, the tournament will probably be done. We will be recapping it though on Sunday or Monday whenever that video comes out, like Monday morning, Sunday night. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. The videos have been like, or video suggestions have been super helpful. Literally, I've literally gotten like 4 amazing video ideas from them all. So it's just like really helpful. It makes me want to keep making this like great content. You guys are suggesting absolute banger. Support has been unreal lately. If there's any players that I didn't mention here, like there's a couple of them, please let me know down below. I'll tell you how I think they're going to do. It's a little harder without the bracket, but hey, maybe in the description as well, we'll have like a live update of what the actual bracket is and maybe what's even happening. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to sub and all that yada yada. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.